on your side, well, I guess since we're just getting to know each other, it'll be great for introducing you to the callers, but or to the people listening. So, right. Oh, you don't have to. We'll have it recorded, Matthew.
Okay. Yeah, but he just shows up automatically to my meetings. So
No worries. Did you hear about the founders of Fireflies, what they did in the beginning?
now what happened?
So they were actually joining meetings and taking notes by hand and then sending them afterwards. Yeah.
Dude, that is the Silicon Valley vaporware way, man.
Right?
I still use a notepad. Do you guys not use a notepad?
Like you write it with your hand.
I can write it. Yeah.
With-
I'm old school.
I can't even
I said-
read my own handwriting, man. Like I can't write. I can type 100 words per minute, but I can't write for shit, man.
They say if your
Got it.
handwriting is disgusting, then you are a genius.
I'll take it.
So
It's
I'll take
actually
whatever I
kind of
can
true.
we'll AI that later.
Is there a way
Yeah.
for our accounts to join this AMA and also be in this call without the audio messing up, Alexi? Oh, here we go. We're live.
All right.
Well, let's let people. People are kind of streaming in right now. So, is there a way that we can do that though? Seriously, join from Crane, join from our personals.
Ooh.
That's all right. We'll get rolling here. Yeah, guys. Today we're going to be talking about privacy. Why privacy is the next big narrative. We already have some signals in the market, right? With Zcash, Monero becoming more popular again. And yeah, we're just going to be talking about it from a builder perspective. Today I have Matthew Whitney with me. Matthew, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, yeah. I am the co-founder and head of engineering at Crane AI. Basically building an all-in-one platform for the intersection of like AI and crypto. Yeah.
Awesome.
Me.
Yeah, glad to have you here.
It's great to have you.
Yeah, as you guys know, I'm founder of ARC. I've been building ARC for several years now. And we actually just partnered with Crane as well. So, we thought we would host a space and talk about privacy and really why it matters, right? A big trend that you see right now in AI is that you don't really own your data. The companies that use your data, they own it, right? And you don't own your AI models. And it's a huge problem if you think about it, because almost all the productivity on the internet in the next 10 years will be driven by AI. So it's important for the individual to own it.
Weird perspective on privacy. Like I'm one of those people where I'm like, just take my data if you're going to do something useful with it. And I know that's like, I don't maybe that's naive of me, but but from a builder's perspective, working with enterprise clients and building products for people that want to have that level of trust in a product and privacy, like obviously I have to be very focused on that, and I do build for that. But my own opinion is just like, Google, take my location data and tell me what's happening in my area. I want to know what's cool. It doesn't really. I don't have anything to hide. That's my personal opinion, but I know that's not necessarily the vast majority out there. So.
Yeah, well, it depends, right? Like what your data is being used for.
Yeah.
I think people always assume it's for nefarious purposes. Sometimes it is, right? So
Yeah.
that's an interesting perspective. But I could say on the enterprise side, it's definitely a big shift, right? People are going to want these private moats. They're going to want their data to be encrypted. I'm even seeing that they don't even want to trust the AI vendor themselves.
Yeah.
They want to have AI that runs fully within the company without having to trust anybody. Period.
Yeah. And if you look at like all the AI products that are out there right now, like they're basically all glorified toys, chatbots, things like that. Like, you know, and why is that? Because like hospitals, banks, government, none of them trust any of this shit right now. And, you know, the reality is like GDPR, HIPAA, like all these things exist. So like institutions are not going to be able to touch this tech until they're like, you know, solutions, like real solutions that enterprises can trust. And that's going to take time to build that trust. I think I think the technology that ARC is working on, like I was reading a little bit about your homomorphic encryption, you know, things like that are really the step in that direction. And I'm pretty excited about that.
Appreciate that. Well, and same with you as well, right? I always think it's important to have these conversations in the open from the builder's perspective, right? Like on one hand, you have speculators and they're like, oh, Zcash is the next big thing because this guy was paid to talk about it or whatever. But, you know, we're actually out here building this technology that, I mean, governments need, enterprises will need. And that's why, you know, kind of the topic today is why privacy is the next big narrative, because it is. You know, we've had the first adoption cycle of AI. Everyone knows they need to use it now. If you don't use it, you're going to get left behind.
Yeah.
But then companies, they need to rapidly get that privacy to be able to adopt.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It is a big issue, where especially when you look at something that's used on a daily basis with ChatGPT. We've known for a long time now that they are taking your data. They can use what you have written there as evidence in court, even. And even if you delete the chat, even if you say erase this conversation, I don't want it. If you ask it a question saying what happened to my data on this, it can't deny that never gets wiped.
Yeah.
So it is actually there. So you know, you're bringing something that's revolutionary in the AI business, in the AI
Absolutely.
ecosystem.
I mean, last week, I just saw it on X. I'll pull it up here. But I mean, OpenAI, they got subpoenaed for, I think it's 20 million user logs by a federal judge. So, yeah, forces OpenAI produced 20 million chat logs, copyright lawsuit, and this is the big thing, right? You know, companies have adopted AI so fast that now they're realizing that backpedaling. They're like, shit, like we can't be violating these regulations and these NDAs because of stuff like this.
Well, it shouldn't be a big surprise that, like, you know, product like ChatGPT that has a really good premium offering, you know, they're harvesting your data. This is, you know, Facebook basically started that model. So if you're going to use the biggest tech giant apps, they're taking your data. Like it's so cheap and easy to use. Like that's what's happening.
You're the product.
Yeah, you're the product. So, you know, if people haven't figured that out yet, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's part of.
Not even... Sorry, TJ. Is it true he's never taken a penny? He doesn't get paid for OpenAI.
Sam Altman? I don't know about that. I mean, the $20 million McLaren, it says differently. I think he gets paid with stock options.
Yeah, I mean, you got people like Elon Musk that, you know, he's got his his equity, ownership of stock in his companies, and then he just takes that and goes and takes out loans against that at really low interest rate. All that kind of is all sorts of creative ways to get yourself paid way too much money.
Yeah, well, that's once you hit a certain level of wealth, just borrow, right? You borrow, and then your stock is always growing faster than the interest rate on what you're borrowing, right? So you don't have to ever pay taxes because you're borrowing either. So yeah, but I mean, all these IPOs coming out with these AI companies, I think they're predicting the bubble's going to burst, so they want to front run it before it happens. But besides that, so Matthew, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Crane, and I want to learn a little bit more, especially with the audience here. So, we joined the Crane Genesis program. Tell me what you're doing there, and how that builds into this narrative of why privacy is the next big thing.
Yeah. So thanks. Yeah. So with Crane, our Genesis partner program, and we've had a lot of people sign up for that now. We're really excited about ARC partnering with us. But it's sort of this initial kind of cohort of high quality partners that we're integrating into the Crane ecosystem. We're beta testing our first product right now, which is we're calling an AI app portal, but it's basically a marketplace where you can find different AI applications and reviews on those. So it's all about visibility and creating trust in these different applications, these different AI products.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of them out there, and you never know really what to trust. So we're putting together a curated list of applications, products, and then, like I said, there's a review system. We've got 100,000 followers right now, and we'll be launching to them publicly, and we'll be using our airdrop to drive engagement on the platform. So we'll be incentivizing people to use these products, review them, things like that. So that's kind of the first step in our journey, in our roadmap, is creating this portal to create visibility and trust. And Crane, the whole Crane roadmap, our ecosystem is sort of an idea to utility life cycle, right? We want people to basically, we want to make launching an AI agent as easy as launching a meme coin, but with real utility and like long-term sustainability, right? Yeah. So if you have an idea for an application, that has some utility, you can build that on our platform. You can launch it on our infrastructure. You don't even necessarily have to write code. So there can be more simple ways to create an agent, or you can, if you're a coder or a vibe coder, you can launch that as well. But, and then we're creating a token launchpad system where you'll be able to monetize your application once it's built and deployed. And we have some different types of token launch pads that are really unique and innovative, token launch systems. And then, like I said, the AI app portal is where you can like grow and get visibility, and earn trust as a producer, as a creator, a builder. And then we're also creating a decentralized exchange to create that sustainability. And we have some really unique liquidity provision protocols built into our exchange that can help drive liquidity, long-term liquidity. So we got a really robust, like long-term roadmap that we're really excited about. Yeah. I think in regards to privacy, there will be KYC required in certain aspects of this, and all that'll be private information, and we'll have to make sure that information is kept private. And I think that yeah, like if you are you don't necessarily have to be doxxed in order to be a producer or a creator on this platform. And I think that's really important in the crypto space. Like I've found that like by doxing yourself, you're much more people trust you a lot more. But not everyone wants that, and it's not really not always necessary either. And that'll be possible as well. So and our founder, Jared, he's very big into privacy and security, and so that will be paramount in everything that we do, especially for bringing on like enterprise clients. So that's a little bit about our roadmap and our product.
No, thanks for that, Matthew. And I mean, it sounds like you're building a lot of utility for the individual user, and I think you focused on trust there. I think a big part of trust is like helping the person be ensured that they're gonna have privacy, their data is gonna remain private. With people launching agents, I know on the ARC side of things, we're building trustless applications. So you don't have to trust us. You don't have to trust anyone. Like we have a cryptographic proof on chain that your data has remained locked, right? Through the homomorphic encryption that you brought up.
Very cool stuff.
But we have some agents, and we were thinking of launching them with you guys. So on our end, we had a developer that came to us as agents are followed by Gary Vee, by they frequently talk with Gary Tan, right, co-founder of Y Combinator, and he's like, why don't we launch these through ARC? And I thought it was a no-brainer because of our AI narrative, our focus on privacy. What kind of agents can people launch on Crane?
That's a great question. I mean, really, the sky's the limit. Like we're focusing on creating the infrastructure to allow you to launch it, and providing an SDK that's simple to do that, and then the functions to monetize it, to be able to say that, okay, if someone's using your application, they have to pay in whether it's your native token or the Crane token. There'll be options of how people can pay, but it's the main thing is like being able to monetize your application system. So,
and remain pseudonymous too, right?
Exactly. And not rely on traditional finance, right? It's all on crypto, on chain,
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I mean, going back to the privacy narrative, I think, even though Zcash has its faults, right? I think that's why everyone kind of went for that. I mean, it was backed by the right people, but then too, it really spoke to that ethos of privacy, why privacy matters. And I think, just as the market evolves from where it is now to, I mean, the world's being eaten by AI, right? To 2026, the biggest narratives are going to be privacy, because we have ZK proofs in the space now. There's people doing stuff with homomorphic encryption, like my own project. On your side, people being able to launch agents pseudonymously. So, I mean, what would you say for like the individual? Like, what kind of trends do you see in privacy? Why do you think privacy is like the number one next big narrative right now?
Well, let's see. Why do I think privacy is the number one narrative right now? Well, I think that I think data is king, right? Like data, having data, having a lot of data, accumulating data, like is king, and it creates power, and that's why a lot of these companies will create a free application that's really exciting, and then take your data and use it for their own purposes. So, and and as you can see, like with these LLMs, like they're literally born on massive amounts of data. I mean, the companies that have created the LLMs that are the most useful are the ones that have amassed the most amount of data and trained on that data. So, a lot of big enterprises are worried about their IP, right? Like for me, I'm not super worried about like my code being used to train LLMs, because I don't know, I'm pretty humble. I know I'm not really building anything like that crazy innovative. I'm building some innovative stuff in the space, but like I'm not worried about. But some enterprises have IP that's worth millions and millions of dollars, right? And their whole business is based on that IP. And if their employees to start shoving all their code into the LLMs, and these companies are taking that and using it as training data, like now all your IP is gone. Like it's now public space, whether you realize or not. So I think from an individual perspective, if there's things that you don't want the LLMs being trained on, whatever that is, you have to be careful where you put that data. If you're going to use an app to help you automate your life in some way, like it may look really attractive and it may well really help you. But if you're going to put your data in there, just know they're taking it and they're using it, and it's not yours anymore. So I think people have to be mindful of that and really read terms of services, or really understand like what it is that these apps are doing with your data.
Well, and that's why I think, what we're doing in this space is so important, right? Because crypto allows you to have sovereignty over your assets. It lets you hold your keys. It safeguards you as the individual. And I think, a lot of the technologies that are out, like mine, right? Trustless framework, you have your models. We can't see the data. No one else can see the data. And then with yours, like being able to launch agents pseudonymously, I think that's why, privacy is such a big thing right now, because unlike in other industries, right, where all that data is going to the company's database, in crypto, the individual can actually own their data. And through this technology, they can own their models, right? Yeah, like I was commenting on a Palantir post yesterday because everyone's talking about Carp and joking like he's on crack and stuff. And I commented on one of the posts, and someone was like, Palantir is building a surveillance state based off of your data. And it just really shows a lot of the people that I've been looking at lately they're all talking privacy. They might not be able to put a pin on it, why it's important, but it's definitely one of the biggest narratives coming to the space, because we can solve the $1 trillion problem that's in traditional, Web 2 AI with our decentralized frameworks we have in crypto.
Yeah. And I think, we were talking about the Genesis partnership. It's just the beginning of our relationship. And, we're just starting to look at what ARK is building with the Matrix. And, we're excited about the potential of the technologies like homomorphic encryption. And I'm really excited to be in the same room as you guys and learning about it and talking about it as we're building this infrastructure out. We've been working really hard for almost a year now on this project. And, we've been really trying to time our own token launch.
Yeah.
When's the right time to do it? We're actually
Especially
working with our advisor. Yeah. We're working with our partners, Chiron Labs.
I know Chiron. They're good. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really great guys, really, really sharp. And, they're advising us on when and how to do all that. And we're actually talking right now with one of the top launch pads out there, if not the top. And, I can't say who yet, but we're getting really close to doing our token launch, and we're really excited about that. And that, I think, will create a new chapter for us where we're going to start releasing some of the products that we've been working on, and really dive in deep with more of our complicated products that we're going to have to scale the team up and create some strategic partnerships as well with other builders in the space. So I'm really excited about the partnership with ARK and to learn more about Matrix and how you guys are using, your encryption and stuff like that. Because like I say, it's going to be really important. And we haven't thought of everything yet on our infrastructure. We have a lot of ideas on how to make a great user experience, and how to, make things simple and easy. Because when you talk about user experience, like under the hood, that means you had to do a lot of work just to make something really
Trust me,
simple.
I know.
Yeah. So that's my focus, is like taking a lot of these ideas, making them really easy to use, making a great product. But things like privacy are going to be really important, and we're going to have to partner with someone like ARK and you guys to make that happen. So
absolutely. Yeah, well, that's why I'm excited about partnership as well. I'd love to see, more internally, look at your stack and kind of see what you're thinking, what you're prioritizing, right? Like if we're going to focus on the SDK, letting developers build their own privacy projects, or focus on pseudonymous agents first. But, with the macroeconomic factors, like the Fed, we're getting a new Fed chair, who, we know Trump says a lot of things. Sometimes they don't come true, but we're getting a new Fed chair. It's lowering interest rates quite a bit.
yeah.
All these factors coming into play. I think next year's market will actually, I think it'd be the first time we get a 5-year cycle. Not financial advice, but I know, right? Like there's other projects and like TJ, when should we launch? When should we launch? And this is way back in like September. They're thinking October was a good time. And like, thank God they didn't launch that right before that tweet came out that nuked everybody.
We were right there in October also, like, should we launch right now?
Yeah.
This whole year has felt like a dragging out of the cycle. Like it just created a longer period of like, when are we going to have our alt season? When is that going to happen? And I think there's a lot bigger players in the market there, and what's really, really interesting is, the regulations that just change. And I don't know a ton about it, but I know that like a lot of regulations have changed, allowing the big banks in the United States to get in and be players in the space as well. In January 2026, you're going to have all the big banks allowing crypto, integrations in their own products, in their own banking. So this is stuff that all of our maxis have been talking about for a long time, and
forever now.
Whether you're excited about it or you're not, it's happening, and crypto is being adopted on a global institutional scale. So,
and that's another reason why privacy is so important too, because these giant companies moving to this space, they're not going to want everyone to see their moves, right? Yeah. They're going to be working on ZK frameworks. They're going to be working on trustless frameworks, like with ARK. They're going to be launching pseudonymous agents, like with Crane, right? I think, that's one of the biggest things that's not talked about right now is just how much institutional volume is coming, right? Yep. I think it was Diamond at JP Morgan, maybe it was him, but he said like all assets, like all stocks are going to be on chain in the next 2 years, or maybe it was even asset, but it's going to be huge. Fink was meeting with Brian Armstrong, right? CEO of Coinbase the other day. Larry Fink, literally the CEO of BlackRock, the most powerful company in the world. They own like 7% of the entire market. was meeting with him. So, with all this institutional inflow into the space, they're not just gonna, we're not all just gonna go on a kumbaya blockchain infrastructure where everyone sees BlackRock's transactions and moves broadcasted for the world to see, right? Most of the volume will be on privatized chains. It's going to be on custom nodes, custom networks, subnets. It's going to have privacy behind it, and I think it's a major narrative right now.
Definitely, yeah.
And if you had have said any of this over the last 10 years, that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
But people have been saying it for a long time.
For sure. I think, they had to figure out how they could make it work to their advantage, right? Because when blockchain and crypto first came around, it was all us kind of nerdy pirates out there, like excited about something that was, transparent.
Don't bring up Dread Pirate
and,
Roberts.
Not. But the transparency and the decentralized aspect of it, right? Because the bank is just using their own systems, their own database, their own code. Like everything is theirs, and they control all of that, and it's not transparent.
Crazy.
But on chain, everything's transparent. But like you said, these big traditional institutions are just figuring out now, like you said, how they can use blockchain, but in private networks and things like that to obscure their actions as much as possible, because that's what they want. So I don't know. It's a weird time.
It's a healthy balance, right? They want to eliminate all of their ledgers and all of the Web2 stuff they have to do and the fees, make things much faster, borderless, right? Running like 1/10 of a percent, but then they have to balance that with everyone's gonna see our transactions now. So that's why privacy is the biggest narrative. Is you have the major companies with AI. If the individual is going to be empowered by AI, it needs to be private. But then you have these institutions moving to crypto, and if they're going to move to crypto fully, you're going to have privacy as well.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Where do you see? Where do you see the space in Q1?
Q1. Well,
what Bitcoin price?
Bitcoin price? I'm not throwing out any predictions.
We got to ask every guest their prediction for January.
Bitcoin to 200.
NFA. Let's hope so.
I think that hopefully we've seen like a bottom, in this kind of correction or this dip that we've had, and hopefully, my favorite space is in the altcoins, in the people that are creating new projects, right? Because that's what's most exciting from a builder's perspective, is new products,
leading edge.
Right. Yeah. So like giving the little guy a chance, money flowing into smaller projects. That's what I like to see. So my hope, I can't give you any predictions because it's just crazy. But my hope at least is that we get our alt season, that we get a good healthy flow of money into the smaller projects. Because that's where real innovation happens, and so because people just, it's not enough for institutions and whales to be holding Bitcoin or even ETH. That's not enough. It's great. It's exciting that Bitcoin is now this massive market cap asset that uses this really brand new technology, but it's not enough. Like I said, that these that the people hold it. Money needs to flow into the smaller projects. So that's my hope. I don't have a prediction, but that's my hope. So
yeah, same here. I mean, you've seen it at the end of the other 4-year cycles, right? Like that
Mhm.
blow off top, that old season.
Yeah.
And I talked about this with Chris last week, and it's like, man, do we see that again? Or, are we entering like a prolonged cycle, right? Where you could see that in maybe the end of 2026.
Yeah.
But my opinion is, I mean, I think we're coming back. I think we're coming back in 2026. There's just so many regulatory things coinciding, right? A much better Fed chair, much better regulations. We had the Clarity Act passing the House. It's going to the Senate. We know it's going to pass the Senate, right? 20 trillion coming into the U.S. economy, according to Trump. The Reserve buying $45 billion of T-bills every month.
Yeah.
All of these things coinciding. And then we also have the one space that can build the privacy that AI and all these new technologies need to thrive. I mean, that's why I'm all in. I'm all in on privacy. I'm all in on building ARC. I'm sure you feel the same way about Crane.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do love the way you can monetize your AI agent. I think that's incredible. But what I wanted to ask is, does the user set the fee, or is it just a set subscription fee for each agent?
Yeah, so we've gone back and forth on different. I think we want to offer options, right? Like things that make, because what I want it to become is a place for builders, a place for people that have ideas, and I want to give them as many tools as they can to do that. With the token launchpad system that we created, they do have the opportunity to set what the fees are on the exchange rate of their coin in particular. But they can also choose to allow our like AI assisted like automated market making system to fluctuate the fees on either side, whether you're buying or selling the individual token. And I imagine most people it is at doing that on their behalf. But as far as, go ahead.
Well, I was saying, are your agents able to trade prediction markets like Kalshi and Poly Market?
I personally, like Crane, we haven't built agents for that yet. But I personally have a couple of AI agents that I've built that do monitor the markets and give me certain predictions and buy and sell signals. And
well, because it's like that's another privacy narrative I see is you have all these successful traders on Poly Market, on Kalshi, and a lot of them are insiders, right? And the next 3 to 6 months, there's probably going to be a privacy framework that they adopt. Otherwise, everyone's just going to keep following their movements. So I think, just a product idea, but an agent that arbitrages prediction markets would be really sick. Because I see that right now. Like there'll be a sports game or just any prediction, and it's like 40% chance to win on Poly Market, and then it's like 40% chance to lose on Kalshi. So then you got that 20% spread, and it's like the money's just sitting there.
Yep.
Right. I saw Logan Paul, like he's fighting Anthony Joshua here in a few days, and it's like 8% chance that Logan Paul wins, or is it Jake Paul? And it's Jake Paul, and it's like, come on, we know he's gonna pay him.
Well, he's gonna win. He's gonna win 100%.
You know it's rigged.
Well, that's the thing. He has an 8% chance to win. So Jake Paul could literally know he's paying out Joshua plus bet on himself and literally 12x his money.
Exactly. You know that's what's going to happen.
Joshua, it will destroy him if he wasn't paid off. He would destroy him. He would ruin him for the rest of his life.
But Jake Paul has a really clear business model. Take people who did not make as much as they wanted to in their career and give them the payday of their lifetime, and all they got to do is take the fall. I mean, it's obvious. You know,
Well, it is.
I got my tin hat on right now, obviously.
Well, I think he's a marketing genius too, right? Like you look at him and Logan Paul. It's actually cool. They used to wrestle in college back in the day, and I used to as well. But it's like, you know, they're GPs at funds now, and like 5 out of the 6 of their last investments have 10x. They were in Ramp early. They were in all these companies early, and it's like they have a persona, right? It's same thing I heard with Trump. Is like he acts one way on camera, then in person completely different. I feel like there's just a lot of that.
Of course.
Yeah. Everyone's like that in that world. Logan Paul's a heel in the WWE, right? So he's the bad guy. It's funny because it doesn't suit him whatsoever. Like he comes out, everyone's booing him, and it's like you can tell it's destroying him.
He's wearing the Pokemon Illustrator card.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Zcash, Matthew?
Zcash?
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about Zcash, to be honest with you.
Dang,
you tell me about Zcash.
You must be locked in, my friend. Everyone's been tweeting about
I hide in my cave and build. I've got so much right. You don't even know.
That means you're a good dev right there. You're not looking at shit coins.
You know you've got a good dev when they've got a beard and long hair.
Yeah. No, I don't know what they did to the market, but everyone was talking about them for like a month. And it got so annoying that people are picking up on just how many people are talking about it. They're like, this can't be organic. They ended up crashing a bit, but they're coming back. It's just it's a weird one because you see it on everyone's page, or you did for a little bit there.
I'm reading about it right now. So tell me about it. I think interesting. Gold standard for Fatan. Yeah, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, well, there's that and Monero, and I don't know. I think everyone loves Monero for a reason. I think because it actually works. I'm not sure about Zcash.
See, to me, though, stuff like this kind of goes against the way the like ethos of like blockchain, and you know, I don't know, like
because you can't see anything.
Yeah, it's supposed to be transparent. I don't know, but I get, like you were saying earlier, there's a need for, like, you know, not for certain situations, you know, not having that be a transparent public log as it was intended to be. And you can still use that blockchain technology to create those kinds of systems, you know. So I guess that makes sense.
I think what people want, and it's what we don't have right now, is they want transparency for the institutions and the big companies, and they want privacy for the individuals, right? And that's one of the promises that crypto offers. But in Web 2, it's like it's the other way around. Like, good luck if you're not sitting around with $1 million, because if the government wants to target you, they can. I saw Whistling Diesel. I don't know if you watch Whistling Diesel, Matthew, but a guy on YouTube, he does durability tests. He bought a brand new Ferrari and he did a durability test. Basically, he destroys things. And then the state went after him for tax evasion on the Ferrari, even though everything else he's paid like millions in taxes. But then the Ferrari, he paid the taxes like in another state and not in the state he was in.
Oh God!
So instead of sending him a letter, they pull up with 5 officers, arrest him, and now they're trying to silence him.
Oh my God!
It's like, it should be the other way around. Like, state, governments, companies, all transparent. Individuals should have privacy because individuals in the private sector run the economy, right? And I think people are just afraid of things like that. That's why they lean into the privacy narrative so much.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like he was doing anything nefarious. Like, I don't know.
He was just smashing up a
He said, he's
Ferrari.
like, if you'd have just let me know, I would have paid the taxes.
Right, exactly.
It's like $20K. That's not a big deal.
It's a simple letter at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
But I guess if you're gonna put yourself out there in the public and be like a public figure and do controversial things, and get a ton of exposure for it, like, especially if you mess with a big brand like that, like,
that's my theory.
Yeah.
It was Ferrari.
Yeah. It's like they're
known for getting pissed off.
They're seeing him as a bad influence, right? So they're shutting him down. But with Mr. Beast, they see that as a good influence because it's encouraging streamers to go out and help the needy. Yeah. So if you are self-made and you just want to destroy a Ferrari, you should be able to destroy a Ferrari. You shouldn't be silenced for that.
Yeah. Well,
as long as it's ethical.
I think it's actually, I don't know. I'm just gonna stay out of it. I know Ferrari though. If you piss them off, they're gonna go after you. Like if you put a body kit on a Ferrari, they don't like it because it was designed that the way it is for a reason. And I mean, I think there was a guy who put skins on his Ferrari or wraps. They went after him for it. I think it was Deadmau5. But yeah.
Well, and
it's like
I'm pretty sure Ferrari's owned by Fiat, right? And Fiat's owned by Chrysler. Like you're talking about, and Ferrari as a brand, that's owned by Chrysler is like, they're a hot, sexy brand, and so screwing with that, you're messing with like, one of the
big dogs.
Hottest brand that's owned by the big dogs, right? So
well, and it's funny, the Warner Brothers merger with Netflix. Trump's like, I don't know, this Ted, the CEO of Netflix, the guy's badass, but we can't let it happen. It's like, I think what companies are hoping for too is when they move their stocks on chain, there'll be a little regulatory gap so that they could put something like this through and it only gets PR in like the last few hours and it just happens, right? And then, the PR cycle will happen, but too late. They already got Warner Brothers for a couple of years. Because, I don't know. I mean, I think if Netflix is able to buy them, then good for Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Like,
do you know the price? What
it's like 89 billion.
Whoa.
And it's crazy. I mean, you could buy the rights to all of all that culture, all that for that little.
Well, and I've been speaking to as an advisor for several like startups, and a lot of them want to use crypto. Like their perspective on using crypto in their application system is, like you said, they're hoping for some kind of gray area in like taxes, in regulations, and payment transmissions and things like that. So people still view the space, and in a lot of countries it is still a gray area and it's still kind of a wild west. But so to your point, like that is like a general consensus amongst like business people is that you can use crypto to operate in like a gray area.
Well, I think it's cool because it's a mathematical gray area, right? So if the transactions are large enough, people are going to notice. But if it's individuals, if it's
spread out amongst
basic
many wallets, complicated,
Yeah. But like if a bank just wants to save 3% spread on transactions and use crypto, like that's a good thing, right? So it's like a delicate dance. But I mean, what we have right now in Web 2, I think it's a trade-off, right? You have a slight gray area with crypto, but I mean, you literally have mathematical proofs of privacy, sovereignty, ownership. People own their keys. That's a much better alternative than what you have in Web 2 right now. You don't own your data. You don't own your AI models. And you better be happy about that.
Yep.
I mean, Matt is right. he's happy with Google having his data.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think today was a pretty good stream. I mean, would you have any closing thoughts, opinions?
Well, my closing thoughts, are, like I said, we're really excited about the Genesis partnership with ARK. And I think anyone interested in ARK and Crane right now should check out both of our Twitters and websites and all that kind of stuff. The most exciting thing going on at Crane right now, we have our airdrop. We're launching our first product soon, and those airdrop points that people are stacking up very soon going to be very valuable, and we're going to be making some big announcements soon. So stay tuned for that. I'm excited for exploring the ARC technology and how we can integrate that. So I think everyone should be staying tuned for the things that we're going to be collaboratively building.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Matthew.
Thanks for having me.
I'm excited with what you guys are doing. I definitely want to help with, launching agents pseudonymously. Here on my side, I've been building in this space for about 5 years now. I came in with a similar background as many of you guys listening. And now I'm blessed to be able to be working on sovereign technology that protects people's privacy. It gives them ownership of their data, ownership of their AI models. So yeah, guys, check out arc.ai. I'm going to keep streaming every day. We're going to keep on bringing on great guests like Matthew here. And stay tuned, everyone. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Take care. Thanks.
Take care. See ya.
Ciao.